A modern day nephew take that clearly comes from just looking at Wikipedias and stats websites and not actually having watched the career of the player in question is when people bring up Kobe Bryant and they suggest that he either wasn't a good or efficient shooter, which is like, what? And their whole basis is that if you only use the stat field goal percentage, just all shots taken in a game, that it's only 44% from the two-guard position. Now, that actually just betrays a lack of knowledge about the position, how stats work, and his career, quite frankly. Because, first of all, his true shooting percentage, including things like free throws, etc., Kobe Bryant's true shooting percentage, by the way, is the same as Tim Duncan's, who is praised as one of the most efficient players in the history of basketball and having a good jump shot, famously that bank shot, right? How can he have the same true shooting percentage when Kobe's supposedly a chucker and inefficient and just taking bad shots? Well, and how does he get the same true shooting percentage? Then, how about if you watch the game, guys? This bloke took every one of his team's bad shots when they can't get anything going, their offense is crap. He took all the shots at the end of the shot clock when his teammate's in trouble and they bail it out and give it to him. And he took all the buzzer beaters as well, where, by the way, even if someone's a better shooter and even open, when it's a big pressure game, big buzzer moment, playoff game, they tend to miss. They're actually not worth passing to. You won't get the efficiency that the stats nerd thinks he will from looking at an Excel sheet that tells you in the regular season that guy shoots 38% from three, whatever it might be in this particular case. Also, some of his best years, so we're talking like his absolute prime was like, what, 2003, 2002 to about, what, 2010, let's say? Well, actually, if you go and look at the first part of that, that was actually the hardest era in the NBA to score based on how many points teams were scoring and the pace being played. You can go look this up. So in that 2003, when he averaged those 40 points for like 9 games in a row, that was when teams used to average like 94 points in a game. And he was getting like half of almost what a team got every single game for 9 games in a row. That's why he actually probably was like a sleeper MVP candidate. Just his team wasn't good enough in terms of overall record. Then let's add in, after Shaq, the guy had no top 75 all-time teammate for the rest of his career when he won 2 titles, 3 finals, was in a whole bunch of playoffs year after year after year after year, and he was an elite player. So who else are you going to throw it to? Who's the other person that's mega? And then here's the thing about efficiency that I hate about the modern day. This efficiency and stats worship has just gone so far, it's so overplayed, because of what it implies is that when you take a shot and you miss it, your worst shot could just be automatically be redistributed to someone else on your team who would make it at a higher clip. Even though I just said, what about at the end of the shot clock? What about under pressure? What about when they're playing defense on the other side amazingly with all schemes and running you off every single pick you take? And so as a result, you can't get an easy shot for someone and there isn't the same spacing. In Kobe's era, it had the worst spacing ever. Now the whole floor's open. People are just playing transition style and then 3-pointers all day from the corner. That wasn't how they played in his day. So if you actually watch the game, if you don't know, by the way, in the mid-range especially, Kobe and Michael Jordan, isolate those particular stats. They're actually some of the best mid-range shooters to ever play in the NBA. They are unbelievably good at, like, I think it's like 8 to 12 feet or something. They just basically money at that point. It's like the joke is their percentage at that point is like Shaq directly under the basket. So again, you know what? A website and a number won't tell you anything about the game. It might imply it, but to even do the rest and all the legwork, you're going to have to mentally be able to take that number and apply it contextually to what you see with your eyes and what happens in real life. So if you think Kobe Bryant's an inefficient shooter, I think you don't know anything about efficiency, shooting, or the game of basketball. Obviously, my main gig is over in esports on my main channel, but my side channel and all my content around my other interests here are kindly supported by my Patreon community on Thorin's side here. So do you want to ask me a question for my video AMA? Do you want to take part in a private one-on-one exclusive, never to be released but recorded for you session? Call it consulting, call it just a conversation if you want. Do you want to find out who upcoming guests are for the Thor Inquiry episodes? If any or other perks like this take your interest, check out the Patreon link in the description box below and join Thorin's side today.